Hello! Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Once Upon a Game, where we're playing Life on Mars. We are playing, it's sort of like kind of like The Martian or Interstellar, something like that. Sort of like kind of hardish, kind of sci-fi about the first manned mission to Mars, doing like a research thing. And kind of we're just learning about the crew and who we are and what we're doing, and sort of like our thoughts and feelings about being on a spaceship for 6 months as we go to Mars. So we started this with a little bit of a setup, a little bit of the spiel about Once Upon a Game and how to do this and what it means to do this stuff. And now we're ready to kind of jump back into it, right? So we're at the start of our third month, and we go over here to the game window. And we're at the start of our third month. Anyone right now can make a scene. I think I had one idea. But if anybody else would like to go, be my guest. But otherwise, I will go, because I have an idea.
Eric, you are muted, so I'm not hearing anything you're saying.
Oh, there we go. I was muted in Zoom. So if anybody wants to do a scene...
The stream heard you.
Yes.
Because I unmuted it real quick, and I was like, okay, they're hearing you.
Yeah, that was my fault.
I had just unmuted the stream and realized that right as you said.
Yeah,
something.
there are about 4 things I have to unmute when between things. I forgot one of them. I'm so sorry, guys. So
it is tough stuff.
I need to teach me the secrets of multiple.
I need to have a little like post-it note of like my checklists of things I need to do every time. Right?
Yeah.
So I have a scene. Does anybody else have a scene they want to do for the starting for the third month? No.
You do you.
I can do a scene.
Okay. Dakota, please be my guest.
All right. I'm gonna who you left behind. What? What's so funny?
I had the idea that now every month that we go for like forward, we always have to sit here in silence for like an increasing amount of time before we can talk.
Yeah.
No, we're not doing that. We'll be here all night.
Hilarious idea, but I want to make it through Mars.
Yeah, I want to get to Mars too. Space.
So Dakota has, come out of his discussion with Mew, and he goes away to the back of the ship where there's these giant tanks of water, and he walks by them at first, and then this like scared look comes on his face, and he goes back, and he pries off this like ventilation grill, and crawls inside, and then places the ventilation grill back on top, and then he crawls in between the water tanks, and just like curls up in a ball. And it's just really quiet, and you can like start to hear like things, like you start to hear what he hears, and like you can hear like this rush of voices in his head, and it's this different personalities arguing with him about what he needs to do, and you realize that there's no central personality anymore, and that's what he left behind. Like he left behind like the cohesive gestalt of our inner selves that we all have normally.
That's deep.
Wow. How'd the Psycho Bell miss that?
Yeah,
because he was fine. Like I think like he just cracked. Like he had all the symptoms. I was thinking like maybe he was on antipsychotics, but that would have come up in a drug test. So he was just had all of the factors, and nobody caught the factors until he was in space, and now he has like full-blown multi-personality disorder.
Oh damn, that ain't good. That ain't good going to Mars.
This is gonna be great.
What was our relation?
3 more months. 3 more months on a ship with that. Yep.
I have something. I have something for that. Just a setup for it. in a little bit, in a way. I would like to go, and Dr.
Wait,
Hyun.
did you have a question, Adam?
Yeah, I did. What was Mew's relationship with gosh, what's your name? Let me get back and roll 20. What was Mew's relationship with Dakota before, and how has it changed since you've kind of developed this?
Well, I don't think it's changed yet because, like, I think
you've still got it internal, I guess.
Dakota is the pilot. Like, the pilot is what got them here. Like, I don't think Mew has met anyone that isn't a pilot. The pilot is calm and collected and smart. Like, he does his job. Like, he's extremely driven to get to Mars, not because, like, it's been his, like, lifelong dream, but because he sees it as, like, an achievement for mankind. So Dakota's, like, pretty selfless. His relationship with Mew has probably been extremely...
But he's very pressured, right?
Well, everyone on this mission is pressured.
Yeah, totally.
I think he's always been professional with Mew. Friendly, professional. I don't know, like, maybe they went out to drinks like any crew would do, because, like, you have to make sure, like, the crew actually works together. Like, we already had 6 months in the tank together.
God.
We know everyone's problems, or so you would think.
Yeah, we've had whispered conversations about what Mew's going through. I thought I knew what Dakota was going through, but unbeknownst to her, she's got no clue.
Yeah. Does Mew find out?
That's a good question.
Maybe just
I
suspicion.
think she sees.
I feel like that's a good scene, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think we should save that for a scene.
Okay, sure.
That's a good question to answer in a scene.
In that scene, I want to kind of, like, let out the rope a little bit so that we can kind of yank on it.
Sure. Exactly.
Do you want to do that right now?
Yeah, you want to do that right now?
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, hop on it.
Let's do that. I think any of these ones in the lower row look pretty good, including the flight deck. I was thinking cargo, but I don't quite think so.
That's a pretty good play. Well, I mean,
Yeah, cargo. Yeah. I think I'm gonna save the cargo scene about this topic for later. I think I gotta go to the flight deck.
Okay.
Okay, so I think I'm gonna stretch the second person of this, the second personness of this tile right here. Because Mew's going to be looking into Dakota's reflection.
Okay.
I think. If that's okay with everyone.
I'm fine with it.
Sure.
I think that works.
Yeah, okay. I think Mew's going to see a hint about the stresses and issues that Dakota is going through, and I want to ask Golden H what that might be.
Okay, so let's say that Mew and Dakota had a closer relationship than I assumed.
Yeah.
I think that you would have seen Dakota, like, starts taking
Is this through the cracked glass, by the way?
Well, are we looking at the past, right? That's what you want to know about the past.
I want to know about. Well, yeah, I kind of want to know about that too. But in this scene, I want to see the flip over from me seeing like signs to starting to ask you about it, or like receiving my first major hint that makes me seem really concerned.
So after his break or before his break is what I'm asking.
I think after.
After his break. Oh yeah, it's different than what I thought. Yeah, I think like Dakota like comes into like this briefing room with Mew, and he's got like the technical readouts for the circuit board that melted down, and he's just like going through how they can just build one with the resources they have on the ship, and you're like,
yeah,
this is crazy. Like Dakota should have never even like he doesn't have the qualifications to be able to repair this thing, let alone build another one. I mean, you can build another one, but like she sees that Dakota actually knows, like he's spent years studying this kind of technology, and like, you're like, that doesn't make any sense. Like,
yeah, we technically have the resources on board, but we don't have as much of them as you think, and we need them for other things.
Dakota's like, oh, we don't have to rebuild the circuit board. Like, we can just reprogram other computers to do it. I'm just saying we could. This is not any kind of an issue, you know. Even though 90% of the systems are controlled automatically, I have the piloting skill. We can land a ship manually if we have to. Just give me a clock.
When you say that, are you meaning like
Time frame.
Time frame or
like a stopwatch?
Oh, like a little clock?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm guessing to like time the landing and stuff like that?
Well, to time the burns.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Because right now we're in space, right? We're in the Hoffman orbit.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of burn, then you get there, there's another burn.
Yeah, then there's retro burn to slow down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Okay.
Just give me a clock to know when to burn. Like, you know, we can handle the rest with manual controls. But, you know, we could totally just rebuild that whole circuit. It wouldn't be a problem.
Awesome.
I think I like duck my head down and I kind of like I kind of look up at you where you can see the whites of my eyes under my pupils. I give you that kind of look. And I'm like, you're good at piloting, but you know we can't rely on something with that much liability for human error. We need to... Go ahead.
You're going to let me reprogram on the computers like we need to? That'd be no problem. I'll write the code tomorrow.
I'm going to say, don't do that alone. I'm going to help you with this.
Sure.
Cool. Nice.
So there's this scene where like both like typing furiously at
coding
laptops.
coding montage.
The coding montage team.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And Dakota does not mess up.
You have to just quickly write up a GUI to track the IP address. Right?
It's like he's almost like too fast at the code.
We don't know if you mess up or not yet. Let's see that later.
Exactly.
Well, no, that's the reason Mew is looking over his shoulder, right? To like, just make sure that
Yeah, but we could decide that on your next scene, right? Like we could decide the ramifications of that in a future scene.
Oh, sure.
That's a good build-up one.
I don't know.
So the one, yeah, like we can let we'll let Mew decide whether or not he does it on a scene or something. Otherwise, if he doesn't, then you play with it, right? Or you go first and you determine how he behaves, right? In your scene, if it comes up, it's.
I think we seem that Mew is making sure he's. Oh my. Like Mew's a very good safeguard in this situation, and I think she's ruminating about how Dakota wouldn't have been like this at the beginning of the
it's almost like he's too
of the journey. Yeah, exactly.
You picked it up.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I have a short scene I want to do. This will be like my last like solo scene, I think, for a while. I think I want to do more role playing. But we're going to be going to the cabin with Dr. Hune about what gives me comfort. It's just a quick scene of we see Dr. Hune pull out one of those like personal effects containers, and in that you see that there's a like beneath like shoes and clothes and stuff like that, there is a folded up yellow piece of cardboard, or not cardboard, poster board, or like a cardboard poster that's been folded up, and he takes it out, and you can kind of see already through like the LED lights of the room that the other hand has a bunch of little tiny child handprints on it, and he unfolds it, and it says like good luck, Dr. Hune, on your Mars mission, and it's like a bunch of handprints and kids' names under it, and then below it you see like on the cardboard you see the logo. It says like St. Jude's child neuropsychology center.
Did you donate or contribute to them at one time?
No, I'm a doctor. I work there. That's like my.
Yeah.
Way to undervalue that. Dang.
Yeah, damn. No, I'm a child neuropsychologist or like child brain surgeon or something, right? Like something like that. Like I deal with brains, which would be really good because I can do this with Dakota.
Don't out your secrets. All right. I think maybe the flight deck.
Okay.
And this is a scene. It's just Val, and she's sitting in like the pilot chair, but like her feet are up on the console, but like they don't land where you expect them to because she's so short, and she's sitting there, and she's got like a pencil in one hand and a notebook in the other, and she's just sitting there like with her feet up, like tapping on the notebook open to a blank page, staring up, and we look up above her, and it's just the blackness of space, and there's this little teeny tiny like it's like this big now or whatever. It's just
a pale
barely
blue
larger
dot.
than a star. Yeah, exactly. It's just this pale blue dot, and she's like staring at it with the blank page, and then you see like the focus of the camera changes just slightly, and like the pale blue dot that is through the glass is now one of her pupils, of her two, of her blue eyes, as we see the reflection of her own face
on the glass. Oh.
Yep.
Cute. Okay, so now we move to month 4. Let's keep it going.
I'm good for right now. Somebody else can take care of their scenes if they have anything else in mind.
I have an idea for a scene.
If you want to like talk about it and kind of groom that idea.
No, I think I'm actually I could totally do the scene unless somebody else wants to go.
Go for it.
Okay. I mean, since I'm the doctor, I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to the cargo bay, and we're gonna see a scene between me and the commander. Val's here,
All right.
and
How tall are you?
I'm short. I'm probably like 5'6".
Awesome. So like you're
I'm sorry if 5'6" isn't short. Like
No, that's not even close
I
to
don't,
short.
I don't want to be height elitist.
You're super height elitist. How dare
I
you?
know.
Well, I'm also describing Val as being particularly short. So, like, I guess like you and Val would look like two normally proportioned adult male females. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. I just was curious about how that was.
I make a space science statement. Small people are better in space because they use less oxygen and they have less mass. There you go.
That makes sense.
Yeah, as short as
Yeah.
possible.
I said this on Monday, but speaking of that and less weight and stuff, it's the tagline to this game is sometimes the heaviest baggage you bring to Mars doesn't count against the weight limits. So I think that in the cargo scene we're here. I'm sitting like Indian style, like on a wall, with like with a little data pad. And you can see sort of like the neon data pad color kind of like going up on my face. And I'm sitting there and I have this like really like skeptical look on my face. And we see like the commander kind of like push herself through. Are you a guy? You're not a guy, right? You're a
No.
girl. You describe yourself as a girl. Okay, I was paying attention. Okay, good. I just had a doubt in my mind. So we see Val kind of like push through the little the hallway part to the back of the cargo, and I say thanks for coming on such short notice. Listen, I was reviewing some records here, and I think our pre-flight checks and stuff like that missed something.
Tell me more. The pre-flight checks are off. I mean, depending on.
It's not the mission. Oh, and he catches himself when you're talking. He's like, "Oh no, it's not the ship." And
Oh, what is it then?
It's Captain Dakota. I was looking through our bio records, looking actually he kind of like stutters. I'm like not sure why he's looking through the bio records.
Yeah. I think
and he's
she's
like
making a face like she's like nodding. Wait a minute. And she's like nodding. Wait a minute. But she doesn't actually say anything, but like her eyes narrow and she's got like a suspicion. Like I'm picturing like one of those video games where it's like when you're like trying to sneak and they go boing boing.
Yeah. I mean, so I think like the Metal Gear Solid sound, right?
Yeah.
So I think we go like I need to interview Dakota.
Interview him?
Uh-huh.
That doesn't sound very productive, Doctor.
Well, it's part of his psychiatric tests.
I didn't think that you were a psychologist.
I'm a neurologist.
A neurologist?
My research beforehand was looking at pre-screens and testings, and it looks like Dakota might be a perfect candidate for something I was working on. He has all of these.
Well, if it relates to your research, please, by all means.
Well, okay. Well, thank you very much, Captain. But
why did you have? I need to know though. Why did you have us meet down here for this? It doesn't seem.
I needed to talk to you in private about it because I need you to know that if my evaluation is indeed correct, there is a very small chance. I'm like 1%, like less than 1% chance that Dakota might have some sort of latent psychological problem, but like I don't know.
Oh, that seems highly unlikely.
I know.
All of us went through a battery of psychological and physical examinations.
I know. I don't want to
However,
believe it
if pertains
too.
to your research, I suggest that you do it. Do you?
I know. I needed to talk to you in private because I didn't want to bring this up to anyone else. You're the commander, and I've thought discretion is the better form of valor here.
All right.
I don't want to sound like I'm doubting our crew, right? I don't want to feel like I'm doubting Dakota.
I had no thought that you might be. Huh.
Oh, good. I'm really.
Perhaps you protest too much.
Yeah.
It seems that you were defending yourself.
Look, I just want to. Okay, thank you. I mean, I just need. Okay, no, thank you. That's all I wanted to know. I needed to bring this up to your attention. Follow protocol procedure.
Certainly. Now, Doctor, do you need me to set up an appointment for you?
No, it could be informal. I would do that, but I just needed your permission to do this. Thank you.
And then I'll
yeah.
scoots away.
Yeah, you space scoot away as I go back to the data pad and like do some stuff. Yeah, and it looks like it has a picture of Dakota in like his professional, like the space pilot with the American flag or like UN flag behind him, sitting proud or whatever. Like the portrait that you have for all astronauts. Like that's what and it's like flashing, like blinking yellow. Okay.
Okay.
I hope you don't mind if that I'm kind of like do how to
No,
see
go.
Okay.
Do what you want.
Yeah.
I would like to go now. What gives you comfort? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Heavens wrought from Apollo's bow, stained black yonder crystal skies. 1,000 voices prick the shadow veil, deaf company through the endless night. Mu finds this poem in the code that they wrote together, and then after it is the hexadecimal symbol for Unicode, the heart.
Mm-hmm.
What does she do?
Aw, that's super nice. Oh, that's really comforting.
I think I'm just gonna review your poem also in the comments. So go back line by line for me again. I'm gonna just like give you like a arrow
like
that's
critiques.
yeah.
Oh no!
Oh, that's not nice.
Okay.
It's gonna be like
this
positive.
isn't-
It's gonna be like positive critiques.
I'll
though.
put it in
It's gonna be
Twitch.
like
Oh, okay.
perfect word. Okay, I see it. Yeah.
I think Dakota's like hoping Mew will come to his cabin, but apparently she's more nerdy than that.
Yeah. I think I like really like the second, like the last two lines,
Hmm.
and I put like the sideways colon and parentheses based on the last one,
Nice.
and then like a winky one after that, because like I'm catching on that you're talking about all of us and
Right.
stuff like that. But on the third line, I think that's just like a beautiful line. I don't catch on to like the conveyed meaning in that.
Of course. Not intended to.
Yeah, absolutely not.
We're talking about stars, right?
Yeah,
Totally.
they're Greek deities and
Oh yeah. Yeah.
stuff like that.
No. They're singing.
Yeah, exactly. So you were saying you wanted me to go back to the cabin with you or something like that?
Well, of course, I was hoping Mew would at least respond in some way. So Mew like goes into comments, and Dakota's like notices like, oh, there's been a new update on GitHub.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what the updates are. It's like, oh, Mew has been working on the code. All right, she saw my poem.
Yep.
Okay, she likes the poem. And then like he waits like half an hour. It's like, yeah, let's adjust my uniform, make sure everything's straight. You know, like maybe like put some flowery perfume on, and then nothing. He's like, what? Okay. So Dakota comes out of his cabin and goes to Mew's cabin, and then he knocks on the door.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna open it up right away because it might be our commander.
It's not the commander, it's Dakota.
Yeah, but I think it might be our commander, so
Of course.
I'm just like, in case it is,
Mm-hmm.
let's be prompt. Let's be punctual.
Right. And Dakota's like,
So like you get an immediate response. It takes like somewhere between 1 and 2 seconds for me to open the door.
okay, well, Dakota's like used to this promptness, like this is part of his normal behavior. But he's like, engineer, I'm glad you liked my poem.
I smile while looking directly into your eyes, and then I look down on the floor and back at you. Yeah, I did.
Yeah. I had
The last 2 lines were very pretty.
You liked the last 2 lines the best? I thought they were a little bit too straightforward.
I think the 3rd line was a beautiful metaphor.
Thank
The 4th
you.
one maybe was a little bit straightforward. I understand what
Oh,
you
yes.
mean by that, but
I had some classical training. I understand you really enjoy poetry. You've had a few quotes tucked into your mission briefings before. Well, maybe we could spend some time and we can talk about this openly. Maybe we can
yeah, I think you went her over with
bully
that.
each other's taste in poetry a little bit more.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I think that happens.
All right then.
I thought you were going to push too hard, and I was going to say no, but I was like, that's the way to escalate without going right to gun violence.
Right? Damn straight.
I like how
Dang.
my brain like bends from one thing to another, and I go from escalation to like thinking about dogs in the vineyard. Anyway,
We're all role players here. We understand.
yeah.
That's good. Would you like a response to that? Otherwise, I've got a scene.
I'm cool. Whatever the
Yeah, I'm
response
good
comes,
too. Yeah.
we're just building off each other. So let's see what happens.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna see a little bit of Val's past finally, in the satellite room. Val is floating, but she is like standing ramrod straight with her hands behind her back, and she's watching a video on the incoming satellite. It's a like a presentation about the mission. And if any of you happen to walk in, you would recognize that it was the promotional materials about our trip, like that was like sent out to the public and like around the world differently.
The brochure that's like, what's this mission about? This is a united mission to blah 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 to explore the universe and
like these 4 brave souls will be
in the spirit of humanity cooperating and endeavorship, will boldly go to all the sweet marketing lingo, totally.
It cuts to like an interview and it's Val sitting next to a um, a man with like a medium colored skin, dark hair. Um, he's probably about 6 foot tall, but seated next to her. They're both wearing like almost matching suits, like business suits. Hers cut in a decidedly more feminine style, but still pantsuit.
Mhm.
And you can hear the interviewer, like off camera, say, "So, Charles, how are you going to fare without Valentina by your side?" And the man next to Val responds that he's not sure, but since she's coming back, it's all worth it. And like we see like the happy couple smiling and like being excited about the upcoming mission and what it means for mankind. And then we cut to Val. She's moved from the position she was in before, and she's found like a small handheld vacuum cleaner that she's just like has in front of her face since we're in 0G. And there's just like her face is totally deadpan, but there's just tears coming out at weird angles.
So you have to use a vacuum to suck it up.
Mhm. Yeah.
Oh, you miss some. Mew, you have a scene, right? You have to do a scene.
Do I?
Yes.
Let's take a look. Yeah, I do.
You have yet to do the scene. That's
All right. I'll do a scene. Okay. So I know I don't have to do this, but I want to do something different. I've done the cabin, done the satellite, did the flight deck. I want to decide between galley and cargo. Let's do galley. Let's get those sweet descriptors. So I think we see I think Mew and Dakota's relationship has been getting closer. I think we've just grown more friendly as people. So I think we're both in the scene together. And I think we're having a chat about what's happened up to this point.
I guess we're talking about like research and stuff because, you know,
Yeah,
like,
sure.
part of this job is to make sure we take off and make sure we
Yeah,
land.
exactly.
Like, in the middle is like this big open spot. So he's probably doing research, maybe on like the solar winds and like the effects of solar winds on their whatever, because there's a lot of like talk about like currently like how we just don't have magnetic bubbles to protect us. So it's like this is probably like the first experimental like electric shield that mankind has ever developed. So he's like spending his time messing with that, and it probably like requires a lot of technical help, like questions he has to go to Mew for, like I don't understand this physics. Maybe you can help me make sense of these readings.
Yeah, there's like the outputs it's giving you are like these very specific variables, but the variables don't give you like the outputs about how much energy is going in or out of
Right.
it. I have to like plug it into these like mathematical equations to like
Oh.
actually tell you like, okay, this we're getting fried right now with about as much energy as like half of a nuclear bomb or something like that. I don't know. I'm just
Okay.
making up
That's
stuff.
quite a bit. Okay.
Yeah.
This must be a bad day in space. We're glad we had this shield.
It's very solar windy today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, how does this magnetic bubble affect our trajectory? Will we need to make a correction, Vern?
That'd be your scene, if you want it to be.
I think I probably like
No, I'm saying this in character. We're role playing. Right?
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I think Mew kind of clicks her lips a little bit. And I think she looks at you and nods. And she's gonna be like, yeah.
Okay.
I want to know by how much do you think?
Maybe half a second. And he like tries to do the orbital math, and he's a little bit slow. You notice that Dakota's been a
Yeah.
little bit slow recently, like not as efficient as you'd expect.
Yeah.
Because like he's working with the crew, and like it's hard to tell exactly where people are picking up for him.
I think Mew says. That's what I was thinking too. So I think that's right.
Good. I'll schedule it. I'll let everyone on the ship know so it's not a surprise. Check it with mission control.
I think I'm just gonna like start like whispering under my breath loud enough for you to hear and just like do like very obvious things like I'm just like, yeah, talk to Val about it. And then I like chatter on about something else. And then like, did you have anything else you wanted to do in this scene or?
It's your scene.
Yeah. Well, I'm happy with that then.
Okay.
All right.
I still have to say what I hold in my hands.
Yes. What's it you holding in your hands?
I am holding your hand in my hand.
Oh.
I'm like,
And Dakota
I
goes,
just do it for like a second.
No one knows. Oh, we don't notice? Okay.
And no, I think we notice. I think I like maybe like grab like the top of your hand or like a little bit of your wrist. And I just give it like a squeeze for just a second and then maybe blink and retract it. And
Oh, you catch
I'm like-
yourself?
I'm like, yeah, that's right. And then I just, because it was unintentional and it was like very like
Yeah.
physical affection sort of a thing, which is something Mew is very used to.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Great.
Month number 5.
Brilliant.
I know I want to do a scene.
Go for it.
This will be a scene for I want to interview Dakota.
All right.
It's time for that.
Yeah. I guess we'll go to the cargo bay. So I probably catch you like from the galley. And I'm like, hey, Dakota, you got a second?
Of course.
Cool.
Is there something the matter?
Oh yeah, like as a doctor, I just got to ask you a couple questions. It's no big deal.
Sure.
Cool.
Maybe to the treadmill, doctor.
So I wanted to ask you. So we've been on this for 5 months. How are you doing?
So I'm feeling a little bit lonely.
Yeah. Getting sick of Muse cooking yet?
And like he looks at you like
It's like an inside joke of like that I guess maybe like we make a joke that Mew cooks our meals, even though like we all just microwave the food.
I think his like reaction is still wrong. It's like he looks at you like that's the stupidest thing you could possibly say,
Yeah.
and then like he catches on and he's like, "Oh, no."
Cool. Yeah. I only asked this because I was reviewing the VODs, and I've noticed you haven't been writing home. You're at day 45 of not writing home.
I mean,
Do you have a reason for
I
that?
send video messages with the rest of the crew.
You have? I'm looking here in the logs, and they're not showing up. It might be. Oh, it must be a computer error. I tried to like
Huh.
dodge the question. Are you being as a player? Are you being serious that like you've been recording them,
What I meant was that like
or are you lying?
I think that there's like group team videos that we're sending home,
Yeah.
and he's saying he's doing those.
Okay. You're only doing stuff that's required of you from a group, but nothing
Right.
like personal. Okay.
Right. Like he hasn't been avoiding the group activities.
Okay. Okay. So then
It's
let me
like-
let me go back real quick then and be like,
Right.
sure, like yeah, you've been present for the group reports to mission control, but you haven't been talking to anyone back home. Is everything okay?
It's like
Are we is Val working you too hard, or you just haven't had enough time, or I know we've had I know we're getting close, and I know you got to do all those controls since you rewrote the piloting software, but
I don't think I've been busy. It's just whenever my free time just seems to be filled up with random things that need my attention. Like I've never really been bored.
we like cut
Yeah,
we have a quick like flashback to like us like in space playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Right.
Yes.
The room is dark, lit only by flickering, dimming torchlight.
I support this.
And then we come back to it.
So Dakota like looks honestly confused.
Yeah.
Like why he's trying to think like why he doesn't have any free time.
Yeah.
Because he's in space. Like there should be tons of free time.
Yeah, and you're not communicating, like you're not doing your human duty, right? That's like what flagged
And
me,
it's like
and I
he
want to
can't
know.
remember. It's like I can't remember who I'm supposed to write to. And then he looks really afraid. He's like rips his chair and like looks at you. It's like just clams up.
Wait, he looks at what? His chair? I'm sorry, I had to stop for a second. My dog's trying to eat my
Dakota
cat right now.
grabs like the armrest on his chair and like
Oh, okay.
his white knuckles, and he's like suddenly has this like really frightened and scared look on his face, and he's just like staring at you.
Do you mind if I take your vitals?
No, he doesn't answer.
Lieutenant Dakota, or I already called you a captain. Captain Dakota, can you hear me? No answer. Are you like?
Who's? I'm Dakota.
Oh God. I'm like rushing. I'm trying to like pull out maybe like the first aid kit or something, or like open up like a panel or whatever.
Sure.
But while I'm doing that, I float over to like a computer terminal. Like I guess like there's probably like the first aid kit, and then there's a computer terminal next to it. And I'm like floating with one hand. I'm like typing on the computer, being like, and then like we hear like the little like computer like Skype call connect to the commander. I'm like, Commander, you're gonna have to get down here, to the
I'll be
cargo.
right there.
And we end the scene with me grabbing the first aid kit.
Okay.
I like get down here now, and like that's it.
I have a question. If something's like sent to the commander, would I have heard that as well, or is it like a?
Oh no, that was a direct message to the commander.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Cool.
Yeah, we have a crew. We have a crew of 4 people. We still have personal, private messages.
Absolutely. Super important.
Definitely. That's how we don't go crazy. Wait a minute. I would like to continue that scene. and go down to the cargo hold and pick up a moment later as Val bursts into the cargo hold.
Also, this will be the last scenes before our next break. By the way, this month. Okay.
Sure.
Okay. So after she hears like the urgency in your voice, and she rushes through the ship. And if you want to be there, I would say that Mew, you can like see her like hurtling past, like handhold to handhold, going down the hallway. But if you don't care, then don't worry about it.
I think Mew's gonna put a hand out and be like, "Hey Val, do you need me?"
I might follow me. And
Okay.
Yeah. So I head down to the cargo area and just like shoot through the door and just start floating out amongst the like stacks of cargo or however it's set up, looking for Dr. Hune.
I'm like
I don't like say anything or call out. I don't know, there was something in your voice that made me think that was a bad idea.
Yeah. No. Okay. Yeah. It was. Well. I did respond to you frantically. You see me you could probably catch me doing like the eye light people kind of thing or something like that.
Here's my question: is Dakota sedated?
Probably not yet, but
Dakota.
I have it available. I'm like don't get like I'm hoping to not get to that. I'm still trying to do like first aid right to you because you're having like a identity fugue or whatever it's called. So
when Dakota realizes that you caught the captain, he'll probably try and run away.
Oh, okay. So I guess then, Commander, you probably hear like no, right? And I'm like, Dakota, get back here, right?
Dakota's like, woo!
And you're like, yeah, what So that's probably the scene that you come into, Commander.
Okay. So you're like totally freaking out, or
Dakota's like fleeing, like he did the giant jump, like the space jump off the wall, and he's he's like flying down the corridor into Apple's.
I'm like, Captain, get back here.
Like,
I'm like calling out to you.
Out or saying anything is what I'm
No, he just jumps and he's going fast.
Goes. Okay, and Hune is calling out for you to come back.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So Val like kicks off of or punches a nearby like pile of something in order to change her trajectory and go after Dakota. Yeah. And as she's so she flies over there, and I don't think you saw her coming. Like, you knew that he called her, but I don't think you saw her coming. And so she comes at you from an angle and just kind of tackles into you.
Oh no.
And she says, and she turns and like grabs you by the shoulders, and she's like, she's like 5 foot tops,
It's like 6 foot, but very
yeah.
And
you're like tiny. A Nordic Viking.
Yeah,
she's super tiny. She's petite in every aspect, with her like short buzzed, it's probably longer now, reddish blonde hair. Right. And she's sitting there with her like her hands on your shoulders after this collision, and she says, Dakota, get it together.
And we're like probably like bouncing off the walls because momentum is conserved and there's no friction. And eventually I think Dakota like grabs like a net or something that's been put there in case you're
does in this moment when this is going on, Mew followed suit, right?
Yeah, I'm
okay. Do you do anything to try to calm him?
I,
Are you
What
the only
happened?
person who's able to calm him?
I mean, Mew's an
Maybe.
engineer.
I
Can
don't
she
think that's what he
reprogram a
meant
man?
at all.
That would be pretty poetic, right? I don't
You're the
wanna
worst.
push. I am the fucking worst. I am the worst storyteller.
Reprogramming men is all I know how to do.
Oh.
Burn.
Ooh, retrograde burn.
Nice. Yeah, I'm gonna follow not too far behind, but I need like more information about what's going on. Mew just doesn't have that yet. And
So I have this image of
Val,
Commander
Val
on top
and,
of
like
Dakota.
Yeah.
Like,
So Dakota fled through the cargo bay back through like the entry tunnel and bumped right into to Commander Val, and you're probably in hot pursuit, and Val is trying to get Dakota together, and Dakota's like scrambling around.
Dakota, I think once Dakota gets pinned, like he comes back and he's like, Commander, why are you holding on to me like I'm trying to flee?
That's a
All
good
right.
question. Why were
I
you
thi-
trying to flee? I think we're like
Yeah.
I think we're kind of like at the end of this scene now that you're back, and what I hold in my hands.
I think
is-
we end. Sorry. Continue.
Oh, I was just saying what I hold in my hands is him for that scene.
Yeah. Okay.
What I was getting at. So
Okay. Yeah. That's good. Yeah, I'll send that there.
Okay.
nice.
Break time. More space.
Dakota or no? We still got Dakota and Mew.
oh,
Well, I thought
we
you
finished
said-
this round and then the break.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
I want to go last.
Yeah. Gotta see what doing the galley's like. No, I'm gonna go back to the cabin.
Space. Yeah, like you don't have to follow up.
Yeah, absolutely not. I just wanted to tour everything, and then I was like, cabin.
I like how we're having this like conflict right before we get to fucking Mars.
Damn straight.
Mhm.
As intended.
So I want to mention right now, for no reason that particularly entails to the scene, but I think Mew's only slightly taller than Val is. Like, she's pretty short herself. She's only like 5'2", maybe.
Okay.
Or if Kelsa was kind of just rough estimating, I'm like almost unnoticeably like taller than you. Like, we probably think we're the same height.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
That's why the commander has grown out her hair.
Sure.
That's like another source of tension, maybe. I think I'm going to. I get to knock on Dakota's cabin this time.
Sure.
This has
Okay.
become a regular thing. You open up, I guess.
Oh, sure. Dakota will open up probably. It's like not quite as quick, but
You can tell like the cadence and like how hard I knock on the door. You know it's me, basically.
okay, yeah. All right. It's still, I think Dakota's just, he's bigger and it more momentum and everything is just a little bit slower getting to the door.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm gonna go through the door and let it shut on its own if the door decides to. Otherwise, I leave
Star
it.
Trek, or does it?
I'm not sure. I get the feeling we're not, Because
Yeah. I was
I
kind
feel
of
like
imagining
hatch,
like
it's like hatch doors, maybe. Yeah.
but and sometimes there seem to be robot operated on some science fiction shows. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
I
of like
guess
the ISS doors when I'm between the cabin stuff.
I guess the
That's
robot
what I was
arm
picturing.
closes the doors and it like automatically rotates
Yeah.
just circle by itself.
Our ship was made like yesterday.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna be in the cabin, and I've been putting down the notebook with my poetry lately.
Hmm.
There's a bunch more paper on the ship that I could just pull out,
Hmm.
but I'm kind of at the end of this notebook, and like I have like a 3 blank pages left basically, and I've just kind of dropped the hobby because I've been
Oh.
focusing on Dakota a lot more.
Oh.
Because like there
Oh.
have been like
What I'd like to say is that like together Dakota and Muse poetry has become so prolific that it would not have fit in a notebook. So
Yeah.
we've like just started typing it all into computers.
yeah
But like the notebook is like,
Interesting.
having it in your hand is like just part of the process and it helps you be creative.
yeah that's
Okay.
very true.
So that's what you have in your hands,
That's
or
comfort.
what's what? Excuse me, that's what I meant. Comfort.
Yeah, I think
All of the
in-
poetry.
slammed together in the notebook we also have like these folded up pieces of paper we've pulled out of like the printers on the ship, and it's like that terrible paper
The
where
dot
it's
matrix.
just like
Oh no. The
It's
super
like-
good stuff.
it comes out and there's like holes punched all along the edge.
Yeah, the
and
dot
it's
matrix.
just
Yeah.
Tractor
Okay,
paper.
yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know what that was called, so I
Yeah.
just wanted to make
Tractor
sure we were
feeder.
talking about the
Yeah.
same.
Yeah, that's super old printing ticker tape.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh
I
my
hated drawing on those as a kid.
Yeah.
It's just hard
God.
It's
Oh
to
my
terrible.
god.
The worst.
I drew so
Yeah.
many fantasy stick figure army battles on those things as a kid. I'm so sorry.
Oh my gosh.
so
yes.
many
But, like,
tanks
the
and
ones
planes.
with,
So
like,
many.
the alternating like white and blue lines, like
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
oh, so
Like,
Oh
I
my
used to
God.
draw like that, and then one year I was 6, my mom brought me this sketchbook with like the really thick paper, and I,
Oh my god.
it was like the best.
Yeah, so we
Yeah.
toyed with that for a couple of poems, but we don't like the paper, so we've been doing stuff in the comments of code, and it's much
Right.
easier to just like comment and critique and like compliment each other and stuff like that.
And keep track of changes. Revision history is amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I think the scene is just us looking through like these very effective lines of poetry
Mm-hmm.
that parallel through everything that everybody's been narrating so far.
I think Dakota like says, "Wait, I have something for you," and he goes over to his backpack and he pulls out this small notebook,
Mhm.
and it's like it says like engineering notes, and he gives it to you, and you look inside, and it's like completely blank.
What's this?
Says, well, this is one of the notebooks, logbooks I'm supposed to be keeping, but I want you to have it.
I'll keep it. Yeah.
So that's what gives you comfort?
Write in it. You need to keep writing.
Okay. You like my bad handwriting?
It's more than bad handwriting. It's part of you. And I think Dakota gives Mew a kiss.
Mm.
Oh.
I don't think I returned the kiss, but I think I hug you deeply.
Okay.
And just for a really long time. And then
Fudge.
I look very like this is more of a like I care about you very deeply sort of thing. Like I think Dakota's going more for like the I care about you very deeply, so we should do the romantic thing, and I'm like I care about you very deeply, so I'm like fine with that.
All right.
Yeah.
I think Dakota is like starting to get worried about this, but
Ooh.
he didn't say anything.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm definitely not
Wow.
like rejecting it. I'm just like not returning it in like you're giving it like you're putting in your 100% into it, and I'm giving you back like
20%.
85 or something like that.
Okay.
Okay. Cool.
Hey, it's better than 20%.
Yeah.
Dakota, take us home. Take us home with the last scene, my brother.
All right. We're going to the gallery. So, Dakota has kind of had these issues, but I think that while they're damaging his work functions, his work efficiency, like they're actually making him smarter. And I think that like he develops an entirely new way and like revolutionizes the way that the magnetic bubble is protecting the ship, so that future missions won't have so much problems that we're having. And I think like it's like creates a legacy for him. And you know, he brings these things up when he's talking to the doctor. It's Dr. Yoon, right?
Yes.
It's like, Yoon, I don't understand. Like, I have these brilliant notebooks, and yet, like, as much as they're helping, as the condition is helping me understand the science part of the mission, I'm having this like huge disconnect with the interpersonal relations. Doctor, I think
I'm listening.
Yu's knowledge about my condition is making her treat me differently than she would be otherwise.
Oh, absolutely. Right? I'm treating you less as a peer and more as a subject. Is that what you mean?
I'm saying it's in character. He said
Oh.
Yu, not Mion.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said Hyun when you said
You're just
No.
the worst at names, Eric.
I am apparently the fucking worst. I'm so sorry.
Dr. Hyun,
Okay.
I think my condition is
Yeah.
making Mew treat me differently.
How so?
I don't think she's engaging me the way I expect.
Is she showing you? Is she being unprofessional?
No, she's being very professional.
What is she doing? Is she teasing you? Like,
No, she's really being quite wonderful to be around in every way.
I think he takes like a long pause and goes like, "Oh, I see." And like he's as like the picture starts getting made in his mind about what's going on and what you mean by that. And
You see?
I think I asked, he's like, Lieutenant, I guess it's Lieutenant Mew. Lieutenant Mew is. Actually, hold on. How would I phrase that? I want to phrase you in a question that like is discouraging. Like, it's that's forbidden between coworkers, right? Especially on a mission. I think what you're saying, but I think for the mission you're gonna have to keep that to yourself. Can you do that for us? Can you do that for Earth?
For Earth. I think he does laugh because it's
I know.
pretty ridiculous.
Well, I'm treating you kind of ridiculous, right? I'm treating you like you're unstable.
Right. Like you're feeding the right things because I was like, which personality?
Right?
What he's feeding me.
Yeah,
So,
like I'm trying to manage you.
right. So okay, so like you're making it humorous. And he's like, no, you're right. I guess that's a lapse of judgment in my part.
Yeah. It's like I want to warn you about that poetry that you guys are writing so much. Because I believe that's what you're doing instead of videoing home. Isn't that right?
I wouldn't say instead of. I guess I suppose I could be writing home.
Well, I just need you to know that, with our limited time left before we get to Mars, some of that space that you're writing, that you wrote that poetry for, that was reserved hard drive space for our experiments.
We can save it.
I'm letting you know that. Either delete it yourself or save it to something else. I don't care. But once we touch down on Mars, that stuff's gone. Not all of it. Obviously, some of it is enough for your other spaces. But I mean, we're not here. This isn't our joyride. Mars isn't our Walden Pond. We have an obligation to Earth. We have research that needs to get done, right?
Like our entire collected works.
There's something greater than ourselves here, and it's our mission, and like our mission comes first. You know, he's trying to like, you get it? Like
No, the mission doesn't come first. The mission has to succeed. But this isn't.
I'm getting mixed messages. The mission doesn't come first. The mission has to succeed.
I'll make sure it succeeds. And then he gets up and leaves.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
And then Dakota doesn't sleep for a week because he's working on something.
Oh.
Damn. Damn.
Okay.
Hmm.
So are you dedicated or brilliant, or what are you going to give the thing to?
Brilliant. Because he will create holographic memory storage.
What? We'll see that later.
Okay. Cool, because we need to go to our break.
All right.
Uh-huh.
Awesome. So we're gonna go into our final part here. Give us about 8 minutes, and then we'll come back. We're gonna get some water, get some coffee, get some tea, get some wine. I don't care. Stay hydrated, have fun, because we're going into hour 3 of Life on Mars, and we're gonna get to Mars. Like Mars is happening. So hang on to your butts.
Mars or bust. Mars or bust. Mars or bust.
Butts.
Butts.